Hello and welcome to the second presentation of Module 1 of the MeLDE project. This presentation is part of the Digital Teaching and Learning module, which includes the following topics: digital tools and resources, social media and classroom collaboration platforms, digital assessment and feedback tools, and digital curriculum and massive open online courses or MOOCs. In this presentation, we will explore the second topic, social media and classroom collaboration platforms. The presentation aims to help you understand what social media is and how it can be used in teaching, discuss the advantages and disadvantages of using social media in teaching, and help you familiarize yourself with a variety of classroom collaboration platforms. Like all the other presentations included in this module, this presentation is only a preview of topic 2 of the MeLDE project. For access to the entire module, ready-to-use lesson plans, and other useful resources, please check out the MeLDE platform and MeLDE website. Let's start by exploring some of the terms we will be using in this presentation. Social media is a very broad term, so it requires conceptual clarification before we move on. So what is social media? How would you define it? Social media are technologies that facilitate social interaction, make possible collaboration, and enable deliberation across stakeholders. These technologies include blogs, wikis, various types of media such as audio, photo, video, or text, sharing tools, networking platforms, and virtual worlds. This is one of the most comprehensive definitions that I found in the literature. At the same time, in this presentation, we will be using another term, social networking websites. Social networking websites are interactive platforms used for networking and creating content collaboratively. What social networking websites do you think your students use? You may think they use Facebook or Twitter, but in fact, our research shows that Instagram, Snapchat, and WhatsApp are the most popular social networking websites amongst secondary school students. Social networking websites are very popular because they allow us to create, consume, and distribute content at the same time. Like with any other technology, there are benefits and challenges that come with the use of social media in teaching. For example, social media enables social connections, increase student participation and collaboration, and can make feedback delivery faster. At the same time, social media can be disruptive if used without supervision, and it can limit face-to-face interactions, which can lead to social isolation and loneliness. Social media also raises questions and issues around privacy, ownership, and anonymity. Let's discuss a few ways in which you could use social media in your lessons. For example, you could use social media to create a study group and encourage your students to share ideas. Because social media allow for the creation of a community of learners, you could share news on upcoming events with students and parents. You could create scenarios and ask your students to respond to these scenarios. Or you could use social media to provide group feedback on in-class tasks or assignments. These are only a few examples. I'm sure you've got examples of your own. I'm sure you have already used social media in your lessons and you have more examples to add to these. But now let's explore some classroom collaboration platforms. What are classroom collaboration platforms? Well, these are online platforms that facilitate student collaboration and participation. These platforms are extremely useful when you adopt a blended mode of delivery because they enable your students to work together on common projects in the classroom or from home. I'm going to start by showing you how Google Jamboard works. Google Jamboard is a digital interactive whiteboard that allows for collaborative work. You don't have to create an account. You can use your Google account to log in. To get to Google Jamboard, you can either find it in your Google Apps if you scroll down, or you can type in jamboard.google.com. You can see on the screen some of the Jamboards that I created. But to create a new Jamboard, you have to click on the icon that you see on the right-hand side of the screen. And here you have a new Jamboard. The first thing you need to do is to give your Jamboard a title. You just click on Untitled Jam and type in a title for your Jamboard. Let's call this one Social Media. On the left-hand side of your screen, you notice that you have a menu. You can choose to write on the board using different colors. You also have an eraser in case you want to erase something that you wrote on the board. Or you can choose to add a sticky note or photos, which is something that students love doing. Sticky notes also come in different colors. So you can ask your students to work in teams, for example, and you can have the blue team and the pink team. And in this way, you will know exactly what content each team has contributed to the Jamboard. Let's add a sticky note to our board. Say, test. Once you've added the sticky note to your board, you can move them around, you can add text, you can duplicate, you can edit them, or you can delete them. Another way in which you can delete something that you've already written on the board is by clicking on undo. Let's have a look at one Jamboard that my students created. You can move the sticky notes around if you need to. You can also delete them, edit them. You can add photos to the Jamboard, or you can encourage your students to add diagrams. You can also use the laser if you want your students to pay attention to something that is already on the Jamboard. Google Jamboard enables students to work together in real time. They can see what others are posting, and you can give them feedback as they work. One of the great things about Jamboard is that you don't have to worry about saving your work or taking a picture of your Jamboard. Google Jamboard allows you to save the work of your students as a PDF file or as an image that you can then email to your students or upload on your virtual learning environment. You can use Jamboard on any device. Just share the link with your students and ask them to work together on a common project. Another similar online tool that I love using with my students is Padlet. I actually prefer Padlet to Google Jamboard because it offers more choice. For example, it offers more choice in terms of templates and colors, and it also allows students to insert videos and not just images. To use Padlet, you can sign up for a new account or you can sign in with your Google account. Padlet also has a paid version, but I'm using the free version. So let's create a brand new Padlet. To start a new Padlet, just click on Make a Padlet. You can also join a Padlet that someone else has created. But right now, let's have a look at one of the Padlets that I created with my students. You can choose from a variety of templates depending on the activity that you have in mind for your students. Students can work in real time. They can see what their colleagues are posting and they can provide peer feedback. And you can supervise them in real time. You can delete any inappropriate content and you can provide feedback on the work that they are doing. Another useful classroom collaboration platform is Mindmaster. If you want your students to work together on creating a mind map, then Mindmaster is for you. Mindmaster is very easy to use. Just click on New Mind Map, choose a template, title your mind map. I'm going to call this one Social Media. Share the link with your students, and you're ready to go. If you like using videos in your lessons, then you may want to try EdPuzzle. EdPuzzle allows you to make a lesson of each video. You can use videos that you've created, or you can use existing videos from YouTube, Khan Academy, National Geographic, or TED Talks. EdPuzzle also allows you to create a class and share a video with your class in a secure environment. Let's have a look at this short video and see how it works.
What I want to talk to you about today is the role rumors on social media play in a crisis situation. In a crisis situation, accurate, up-to-date information is absolutely crucial.
This question popped up. Your students will have to answer this question in order to continue watching the video. So I think the right answer was the role of rumors in a crisis situation. I'm going to submit this answer. I can see that I've got it right. And then I can click continue to continue watching the video. You can add multiple choice questions or open answer questions to your video, or you can add an explanation or something that you want your students to read in order to ease their understanding of that particular video. One of the great things about EdPuzzle is that it allows you to monitor your students and see exactly how many students have watched the video and answered the questions before your in-class lesson. If you want more ideas on how to use social media or classroom collaboration platforms in your lessons, please watch and reflect on the following case studies. This brings us to the end of this presentation that explored a variety of ways in which social media and classroom collaboration platforms can be used in teaching to enhance student engagement and participation. I sincerely hope you got a few ideas to implement in your classroom. For access to this presentation in an ebook format, to ready-to-use lesson plans and other useful resources, please check out the MeLDE platform and MeLDE website. Thank you for listening and see you in the next presentation.